life is meaningful but meaningless.
Yeah, and it's such a weird paradox, isn't it? But like that makes sense in my head. It shouldn't, but it does.
You've got the Sartre layer, which is something's only meaningful until you give it meaning. That's step one of existentialism. But then with Camus and Absurdism, he says, well, maybe we do have this impossible task to accomplish, and we are just we are just brief candles in the wind and then extinguished. But you've got to imagine Sisyphus smiling. That's the analogy he uses in The Myth of Sisyphus. You've got to imagine Sisyphus smiling. There this guy is rolling this rock up the hill, but if he can find some sort of meaning from it that gives him joy, that is a life well lived.
So you think that existentialism sort of overrides absurdism?
I don't know enough, and I'm sure that this is where all of the... I know from experience on my account, this is where all of the... I'm not going to call them keyboard warriors, but where they come in and bash me, because as I said, I really am no expert on all this stuff. But from my limited research, Jean-Paul Sartre comes along and says, life is meaningless. Man is, I think it's something like burdened to be free, whatever that quote is. That's the biggest point of suffering for humanity, is that we are burdened to be free, and we're burdened to have the choice of freedom. And with that comes the expectations others and we put on ourselves.
Sorry, just to get into a bit more of that. So freedom, why is freedom a burden?
Because with it comes choice, and then we're weighed down by our own choices.
What do we do? Unlimited, yeah.
What do we do? What does my life mean? How do I reach fulfillment? How do I achieve this? Do I go see this friend, or do I stay in? The weight of choice. And he says, well, there's no such thing as the right option until you choose what the right option is. He gives the example of a student who comes to him and says, I really want to go and fight in the war, but I also really want to look after my mother. What is the right thing to do? And Sartre says, the right thing is whatever you choose. And then once you've chosen that's the right thing, you've given meaning to it. Camus says that's a bit depressing, because it's basically nothing matters. Whatever your choices are, they don't matter. So choose what you want to choose. It doesn't matter. And I think Camus tries to take it a step beyond by saying, well, one must imagine Sisyphus smiling, even if it is one big wheel or, endless cycle.
I love that. I love that frame of as much as it seems like a meaningless struggle, it's about your application of the meaning to it.